South Korea is changing. The liberal China-friendly government under President Moon Jae-in is all set to be replaced by a conservative regime. And the upcoming conservative regime doesn't worry about Chinese economic coercion. In fact, it is ready to spoil economic ties with China if that is what it takes to protect South Korea. Hi and welcome to TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host Tejasvi Malhotra. Let's begin. South Korea is all set for polls on March 9 and it seems that a conservative victory is on the cards. Conservatives have rallied behind their main man Yoon Suk Yeol, who is seen as the probable candidate to win the impending presidential elections. And interestingly, Yoon is an unapologetic China hawk, so much so that he is ready to reserve incumbent President Moon Jae-in's policy of prioritizing economic relations with China over South Korea's security interest. South Korean stocks connected to China are already dipping, which points out how Yoon's presidency could change things. President Moon Jae-in followed a policy of appeasing China throughout his 5-year-long term in power. He even promised the three so-called no's: no additional THAAD deployments, no participation in a US-led global missile shield, and no creation of a trilateral military alliance involving Japan. Moon had made the three so-called promises to mend the South Korea-China relations. He had come to power in 2017 when Beijing and Seoul were at odds with each other over the THAAD issue. At that time, the conservative government in South Korea had agreed to deploy Terminal High-Altitude Area Defense System in the East Asian country to tackle the North Korean threat. China, however, got angry, shunned South Korean businesses and complained that THAAD appeared to cover more of China's territory than North Korea's. Eventually, South Korean cosmetics, confectionery, arts, entertainment, and tourism were hit by Chinese restrictions. The political left in South Korea has always been averse to taking on China. It believes that it needs Beijing's help to denuclearize the Korean peninsula and improve ties with Pyongyang. And therefore, Moon did not strengthen Seoul's security while making every attempt to appease Beijing. However, Yoon is a nationalist leader and hardly cares about China's sensitivities. He is very clear about three things. First, expanding South Korea's missile shield by upgrading the THAAD system. Second, closer operation with Quad that consists of India, Japan, Australia, and the US in a bid to marginalize China. Third, participating in a US-led supply chain initiative to cut dependence on Beijing. Analysts predict that sectors that were hit by Chinese restrictions in 2016 could be hit by similar restrictions all over again. Citigroup Inc.'s Kim Jin-wook and Yoon Ji-ho stated the odds of China taking economic countermeasures against South Korea could rise if a Yoon administration fulfills its military and diplomatic pledges. They also said retaliative measures could focus on Korea's consumption goods like cosmetics and foods, and service goods like shopping, tourism, and entertainment. With Yoon's likely election as South Korea's president and his hawkish China policy, it is quite possible that Beijing starts decoupling itself from a South Korean economy. Except for items like semiconductors, displays, parts, and petrochemicals that are important to Chinese manufacturers, Beijing will try to restrict all other South Korean products. However, it doesn't bother Yoon much since most South Koreans are realizing how threatening China can be, and the collective opinion is in favor of protecting the country even if it means spoiling economic relations with the paper dragon. With its new conservative president set to come to power, South Korea is therefore going to take on China at any cost.